we're happy to move to that as a default for how rated Battlegrounds are going to work going forward. I think we're really excited to make that Battleground experience that personally I've always felt is the best part of WoW PvP.
Blizzard may have just saved their PvP community with this one change that's going to be coming to A War Within, the next expansion for World of Warcraft. So for today's video, we're going to be talking about this change, what it means, what this is going to be looking like for the future of the game, and why I think this is such an awesome idea, because this is something that I've been wanting for the game for a long time. And it took them a while, but what is that saying? Better late than never, right? And this is definitely not clickbait because, yeah, this one change I feel like is going to be huge, and I think a lot of people are going to be super excited about this. But anyways, before we begin, if you guys could do me a huge favor and hit that like button as well as subscribe to the channel. That way you guys will always be one of the first when my new videos go live. There's been a ton of information that's dropped for the War Within Alpha, so my next couple of videos are probably going to be focused on World of Warcraft for a while. But again, that's just because there's so much information to cover here. Okay, so what is this change that's coming to PvP that's going to quote-unquote save the PvP community? Well, Blizzard has decided that they're going to be completely redoing how rated Battlegrounds play out. So as it stands right now in the current version of World of Warcraft, the way that you guys do rated Battlegrounds is you basically try to queue up for a pre-made group and get in that way, and then the pre-mades queue up as a whole group together. And it's been like this for a very long time in World of Warcraft. I think it's been like, what, 14 years? Yeah, because it came out for Cataclysm. So yeah, it's been a system that's been in the game for a very long time, and there has not been a lot of iteration or changes to it. But for many years, the primary way of people doing rated Battlegrounds is by grouping up together and just joining a pre-made. And the big problem with these pre-mades is that they are very hard to get into. Basically, they've been gatekept for a very long time. So basically what happens is, like, if you're new or you're someone that has not really dipped their toes into PvP, you're probably not going to be getting invited to a group. Often these groups have some pretty high rating requirements to get into them. And what's really sad and kind of funny at the same time to me is that this is very reminiscent to how the job industry is right now, where it's like, you're looking for a job, you find, like, I don't know, like an entry-level cybersecurity analyst position or something. I don't know if that's a real thing or not, but you find it says entry-level, and then you look at the requirements, and it's like, requires 4 years in cybersecurity. And then you're just like, yo, how do I get experience if I don't have experience? And I think this is a pretty accurate analogy to what the rated Battlegrounds community is like. So as you can tell, it's a pretty crappy system. So yeah, like I said, Blizzard is changing this system going forward, and the way it's going to work now is, no, you're not going to have to queue into a pre-made anymore. Now it's going to be a soloable queuing system, just like how you would queue into, like a dungeon or, LFR or something like that. The format is going to be 8 versus 8, and it looks like it's going to be on a bunch of different Battlegrounds. All of this was confirmed in the recent WoW podcast with Ian Hazzikostas. The one thing that they didn't talk about was which Battlegrounds are going to be used for this, but I would say that we're probably not going to be getting epic Battlegrounds included into this queuing system. I think it's just going to be the smaller ones like AB, Warsong Gulch, things like that. And yeah, personally, I just think that's kind of a big shame. I really like the epic Battlegrounds over the smaller ones. They just feel way more chaotic to me, and yeah, I just think they're more fun. But at the very least, I will say it looks like we are getting a brand new Battleground finally. I know it's been a long time since we've gotten one of these in expansion, so definitely it's well overdue. But yeah, this one is called the Deep Hall Ravine, and they said in the interview that this is kind of a mashup between Silver Shard Mines and Arathi Basin. So it looks like we're going to be holding and capturing control points, and then also pushing minecarts around. I imagine that we'll probably have to like control a certain point, and then that way the minecart will go to it to actually turn it in. Or maybe there's going to be like certain checkpoints that are on the track of the minecart, and the minecart actually can't go further until you actually have that checkpoint controlled. But either way, the Deep Hall Ravine looks really cool, and I cannot wait to try it out. It's kind of nuts because it looks like there is a ton of verticality to this one, so I think ranged players are going to have a really good time in this one. And I'm just super happy that they're finally doing this. For the longest time, I've been saying, like, yeah, I think Battlegrounds should be the primary focus for PvP, and, I've never been a big fan of arenas, and I know there's, arena players out there, I'm sorry, but I really think arenas are boring and just super one-dimensional, and they're just not fun to watch, right? And also when it comes to balancing, I think for arenas, it's a lot harder to tune and balance things versus, you know, something like a Battleground. So yeah, I think this is going to be a really good thing for the game. I think this is going to, I guess, bring a massive breath of fresh air to the PvP community. And I think a lot more people are going to actually approach it now going forward, myself included. And at the end of the day, again, arena players out there, I don't think you guys have anything to worry about. It sounds like arena is still going to be there for you guys if you want it, but it looks like the focus going forward is definitely going to be on rated Battlegrounds. So that's going to do it for this video, but before we go, what are your guys' thoughts? Do you guys think this is a really good idea? Are you guys excited, or do you guys think it's a terrible idea and you guys just want arenas to stay? Thank you so much for watching this video. I'm still Solo, and I'll see you all in the next one.